Hey everyone, it's me, Master Rollers 9. Here today I'm going to talk about One Piece Set 12, connection between Master and Student, Leader Analysis. I know a lot of people have done this before, but I want to kind of give my takes on it. I really haven't seen any videos about it, so what I come across is kind of my opinions. I'm going to warn you, I'm no pro when it comes to the One Piece card game, and what you might call a filthy casual. However, I enjoy the game. I want to kind of give my opinions to you, and it might be good to see what the casual player is seeing in these cards. Now, I do know a bit because I've been following along, but I've never had any major local play, no tournaments, nothing like that. I don't really watch competitive play, so I know from my experience, but it's limited experience. So that's my warning. Do your research, figure out your decisions for you. Now, I'm going to go in order from what I deem to be the weakest leader of the bunch to the strongest leader of the bunch, of the 6 leaders. First off is Don Quixote Rosinante. He has the effects of being a purple-yellow, for life, go Lakers by the way, 5k special, with the Navy type and the Don Quixote Pirates type. Once per turn, if a law would be KO'd, you can add the top card of your life to your hand instead, and you can don refresh to reduce the cost of a 4-drop law by 2. Honestly, it's not the worst, and if you need your law to survive and you have the life, which yellow is really good for that, he's fine. It's a very law-specific deck. I could definitely say you see someone saying, I'm a big fan of Rosinante or I'm a big fan of Law, and this has what I want. Play Law. It's definitely going to have a high ceiling because you're going to be super limited by the specifications. I didn't really see anything in Don Quixote Pirates. I didn't really see anything in Navy fitting those purple-yellow criteria. What I did see was Heart Pirates. A lot of your laws get to target a lot of your Heart Pirates, which you're going to be wanting to look out for OP09 and starter deck 10. You might want to take a yellow-purple Supernovas route. Maybe you don't want to run the law as a leader, but you want to run Supernovas in yellow-purple. Consider OP10 and OP07. Then you also have OP12 and your promos for law. So you might just want to run a law-focused hyper law deck. Run 17 different versions of law. And that's a deck that you could be much more valid with in this set. It's hyper-specific, and you get options for roam gimmicks, because that's what law does. But all in all, very weak. It takes the right person to navigate this deck right. Even in all of that, reducing the cost by 2 is fine, but you only get it once. You have to don refresh. It's like, yeah, your bigger effect is saving a law by adding a card from your life to your hand, which could allow you to attack next turn. Or, yeah, again, it's kind of eh. Number 5, I'm placing Kuzan. Now, the effect is very powerful. When you trash cards in your hand due to Navy card effects, you can draw an equal number of cards that was trashed due to that effect. Mono blue, 5 life, 5k, Navy. That's an extremely strong effect. The issues are not a lot of cards that really work with this. Most of your Navy cards are black. So when you take a look at what you got for blue Navy, you're looking at sets like OP05, OP06, and upcoming OP12. But the issue you see with those is a lot of cards don't trash from hand. They put cards from your hand at the bottom of the deck. So you got some solid stuff like Zoro. 5-drop, trash 2 cards. Your opponent will return one of their characters to their hand. I mean, they get to choose, but if you limit the options, etc., etc. And OP12 is going to help support this with stuff like Aokiji and Kuzan. If you have 5 more cards in hand, get +1 cost. Trash your card on play, and your opponent can't attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. That's solid. That's pretty good. but you just don't have a lot of options. You want to play this, you're probably gonna want to play Navy to get the hand effect. Yeah, all in all, I can't really give it too much support. You got a lot of cycling, and you being able to refill your hand means that you're never gonna go down on card advantage. You get those super powerful effects with very minimal cost. It's just that a lot of those effects are limited because you have a limited amount of cards. So that's why he's at number 5. Number 4, I'm putting Koala. Black, Yellow, Revolutionary Army, and Dressrosa. 4 life, 5k. When this leader attacks your opponent's leader, you have 2 or more characters with a cost of 8 or more, draw a card. So getting card advantage is always good. When your opponent plays a character with an original cost of 8 or more, or when your opponent plays a character for the effect of a character, you may activate this effect. Your opponent adds the top card of their life to their hands. Now, you might be seeing this and be wondering, Walrus, why are you saying it's number 4? That's extremely powerful. First, you're going to be able to draw a card. That's always good. Leaders that can get you to draw cards. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but you gotta consider this is super late game. Earliest you're getting down an 8 drop is going to be turn 4 if you're going second. And then if you manage to keep your 8 drop on the board, which high-end players are gonna be able to do that, and get the other 8 drop or 9 drop or 10 drop down on your turn 5, then you get to draw a card. So you're trying to prolong the game to get to that point. I mean, yeah, cards get to that, but if you're not playing right with the limited options you have for Revolutionary Army, then it could be rough. And they're big cards. Your big drops are big cards, so everyone is anticipating that. You have to have 2 on there, that's very high dedication. The other effect is really good. Your opponent has to play an 8 drop or more, and most decks your opponents are going to play 8 drops or more. It's where your powerful cards are, the high end of your curve. Or when they played a character for the effect of another character, which can be very common in combo decks like Law, then you can activate the effect for your opponent to essentially take a damage. That's extremely strong. However, I see fear of discard is going to cause a lot of techs. I think you're going to see a lot of people figure out solid 7 drops like Moria in order to bypass that 8 drop end. Then you're also going to be seeing stuff that reduces the amount of combo plays. Or they're going to deem it, you know what? If this combo is so valid, I'll take that life. I'm already dealing with yellow enough as it is. It's not going to bother me. Revolutionary Army, you got like OP12 for the black end of the Revolutionary Army. Yellow is an OP7. You could run some Dressrosa stuff, but I don't really see it. The card is very vanilla. If you want to run a black-yellow, this card is great for most things. You can run it in pretty much anything that runs a combo of black and yellow. It's just an uncommon combo that you're probably not going to have too many combinations going for. You're going to maximize your efforts for Revolutionary Army. Speaking of Revolutionary Army, here are your 8 drops. Your Sabo, which is a secret rare, by the way. Your Dragon from OP12. So again, I think there's a lot of potential in here, but the limitations of the deck are going to hold it back for a bit, and we're going to have to wait until like another Revolutionary Army comes out in yellow and we get more support, or maybe a core in Dressrosa, something like that. Big cards, punish hard, but no ramp. Maybe if it was purple, it'd work a bit better, like a black purple, but what you gonna do? Number 3, Sanji. Now I know this one is very good or very bad. Broken or bad, I like to say. It's gonna be no in between. It's gonna depend entirely on how people perceive the card and how they want to run the card. So it's a blue purple, 4 life, 5k with the Straw Hats archetype and the Vinsmoke archetype. So you can first, once per turn, Dawn Refresh, activate a Straw Hat crew type event from your hand at an original cost of 3 or more. Now it has to be a main event. You can't do counter events because that wouldn't make sense. It's got to have a cost of 3 or less. But being able to cheat out an event is really good. And also when attacking, if the number of Dawn on your field is less than or equal to the number of Dawn on your opponent's field, add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck, rest it. And this is great because purple, you're going to be Dawn refreshing a lot. But even if you go like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to get the pacing of first and second. But if you go like first, and then Dawn refresh on your second turn with some sort of card, and you go to 2, then you're going to get back up to 3. I mean, there's a lot of potential here. It's a really solid event. Now, you have some good options. OP03, 5, starter deck 18, OP09, extra booster 2, 11, starter deck 26, and OP12. Huge amount of sets for blue and purple Straw Hats. Purple feels like more of the Straw Hat color in this day and age than it does. When the game came out, 2022 or whatever, red was going to be primed up to be the Straw Hat color. Now you got all this great support in purple. OP11 with the blue purple Luffy, extra booster 2 with the green purple Luffy, OP05 with the purple Luffy. So much purple is going on with the Straw Hats. It's strong in that regard, but the issue is that purple has a lot of Straw Hat distribution. So if you want to run blue purple Straw Hats, Sanji might not be the best one to get what you want done. However, Sanji is also Vinsmoke. So if you want to run OP06 or OP11 for Vinsmoke archetypes, you could definitely do that because your leader's a Vinsmoke and all the cards are going to have that Germa 66 aspect to them. You could get through of that. And a lot of the Straw Hat events can target Straw Hat cards, but they're not limited to Straw Hat cards. So you have a lot of potential in running a combo Straw Hat event with Vinsmoke engine. Get a cheat out cards, you got event heavy potential, and you get a lot of Dawn balancing. You know, you want to match up to your opponent. You get options like the awesome Sanji and Pudding from Extra Booster 2 Super Rare. Really good card. I'm showcasing some, or I'm going to showcase all of the blue and purple Straw Hat events that I saw. Now, not all of them you're going to want to run. For example, Follow Me and I Will Guide You is targeting Dressrosa type cards. And you could probably run a Dressrosa type Sanji deck, but you're not going to really want to. If you're not running the Straw Hat deck, but you're running a Vinsmoke deck, then Let's Crash This Wedding's not going to really help you because you want Straw Hat type cards. I mean, you could search for other Straw Hat type events, but stuff like Gum Gum Jet Coverin, that's a really good cheat. Gum Gum Lightning, that's a pretty good elimination. Gum Gum Jump Rope, solid. Tier 2, you have options in activating your main effect, but also counter. In set OP12, you're going to see these cards coming in. 2 of them dedicate to the Sanji leader, which I think is very interesting. And multicolored and Dawn Refresh. So if you want to go back, pause, watch, and read the effects of the cards, but now you have an idea of your targets for that Sanji leader, which ultimately is not an insane amount. You're looking at 12, but that's a good amount of variety. Number 2 pick, Silver's Rayliegh. He's mono red, 5 life, 5k with the former Roger Pirates tag, which is a new tag if I'm correct. It might not be new. Might have some weird one-off from like OP01 or something like that. But super interesting effect. You cannot have cards with cost 5 or greater in your deck according to the game rules. Activate main, reveal 2 event cards from your hand. You don't have to trash, you don't have to put them in your deck, you don't have to use them, you just have to reveal them. They don't have to be different ones, you can reveal the same ones each time. Give up to one of your characters with a base power of 4,000 or less plus 2k during this turn. Now, this card's going to be the same thing for the Sanji, but I think it's going to be a bit stronger, and I'm going to explain why. Cost 5 or greater. I did misread that. That's why I got the King dude there, because I thought it was greater than 5. But 5 or greater means you're going to be playing cost 1, cost 2, cost 3, or cost 4. Hyper limiting yourself. But I always like to say, with these limits, you're forced to make more interesting plays and become a better player. In this, you're going to focus down on a heavy rush deck that's going to beat out your opponent before they get a chance to figure out what's going on. I think your vanillas are going to take effect. So King Dude is a 5-7-1. So you'd be running something like a 4-6-1, which is honestly not that bad. Or stuff like Sanji from OP10, the Punk Hazard Super Rare, which is going to give you a plus 3k during your turn. So you're looking at a 6k free drop on your turn, or on KO you get to draw a card. Anything with Rush is going to be really good, like that Zoro from OP01, or Luffy's that would give Rush. OP12 is going to have a more dedicated set to this based off of revealing event cards. And yeah, we got stuff like Kozuka Odin, which wants you to reveal events, Krogus, which wants you to reveal events, Luffy's that want you to reveal events. OP12 is going to give a lot of support to this, but honestly, if you look into it, most sets are going to be viable. As long as you're able to form a core with good support, then you'll get through. Drum Island with the animals deck like Chopper, yeah, you can get through with that. This will probably be decent enough replacement for Zoro. Sanji, being a part of the Straw Hat crew, you can definitely run a Straw Hat deck. And all variations of Mono Red Straw Hat. Whitebeard has had several drops of red support. You can definitely do that. The thing, you always want to have events in hand, but you get that rush, you get that payoff for cheap vanillas, cheap cards, no hand loss. It's really nice. I think there's a lot of potential with Silver's Rayleigh, and I think you could see a lot going through with it. Now, of course, you're gonna have your big weakness in black, so you're gonna be playing low cost cards, but you're gonna be able to go fast and beat out the black. Plus, if you run stuff that gives bonus cost in some manner or degree, be able to find it, probably in OP12, then you can beat out some of those effects. I'm going to showcase the 4 events that are coming in the set of OP12 that have been announced. First one, all of them have the theme of hockey, which costs 0. First one is Never Doubt That's Power. You can give 2 active Dawn to your Rayleigh. Your opponent can't activate Blocker. Or you can counter out with the card and give one of your characters or Silver's Rayleigh plus 2k power during this turn. Honestly, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. It's an event. Is that a common? Sure. The other common one is Armament Hockey. Attach an active Dawn card from your Silver's Rayleigh. Give up to one of your leaders or characters plus 1k power this turn. Counter, give up one of your characters or leaders or Silver's Rayleigh plus 2k during your turn. You have the Conqueror's Hockey counter card. Give up to one of your Silver's Rayleigh plus 2k plus one of your Dawn. If you did, evolve your opponent's characters and leader minus 1k during this turn, which is not bad at all. And then Observation Hockey, catch a Dawn. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Reveal 1 on red event and or 1 cost for your greater character and add it. you want a lot of events, because in order to activate the effect of your leader, you need to have 2 events in hand and be playing a lot of it. So you're gonna run out cheap events like these, where the cost is giving Dawn to your Rayleigh, not having Dawn attached, but giving out Dawn, and just swarming the field. I think with the open-endedness of the card, by not locking into any single archetype, but locking into cost 4 or less, the limitations are gonna give you much powerful effects. So that's why I put him at number 2. Number 1, Zoro. He's a mono green, 5 life, 5k, supernovas, straw hat crew type. Having 3 Dawn attached, you can activate during your main phase. If this leader has battled an opponent's character during this turn, set this leader to active. This card cannot attack characters with an original cost of 7 or less during the turn. So from this, every turn you're going to want to have 3 Dawn attached, which is going to essentially treat your Zoro as an 8k with 3 less Dawn on the field. So you play a little Russian. Really good options for support. I'm expecting to see this a lot. Green's been getting the ups recently. So let's just take a look. First off, Straw Hat. Mono green and Straw Hat's not the best, but you do have options. OP02, OP06, OP09, 10, Extra Booster 2, and OP12 all have green Straw Hat options. OP02 is going to be running a bit of a film package. So I know rotations are going to kind of push those cards out. They get next year, but you do have plenty of time. You're probably going to see some power creeping occurring to this Zoro by the time those cards get rotated out. You could find other options, if you just don't lock in OP2. So film package, solid. Stuff like 10 and 6 not the best options because of, well, it's more focused on Odyssey and the Limb Leader, but maybe you could figure out something that could work. Extra Booster 02 was focused off that purple Luffy. 12 is more dedicated to Zoro, so you got options. OP09, yeah, same. Another option is you have the Supernova tag, and it may not be running like how Bonnie is, but Bonnie's much more a defensive or stun leader compared to Zoro. And so running Supernova, if you want that offensive kick in Supernova, definitely do that. This card doesn't limit itself in any way. It doesn't necessarily go with the flow of Supernova, but you could run a more solid mid-range to get that high offensive Zoro, set up a defensive approach to Supernovas. If you want to look at Supernovas, look at sets like OP07 and Starter Deck 24, which is the new Bonnie deck that is really good support. And then finally, OP12 is giving a dedicated deck to Zoro, where if your leader is Zoro, you get bonus effects based off your characters. A lot of them are more focused on the slash attribute. So attributes you really haven't seen coming into play before. And attributes are these little things in the top right. And you see it here or there with like, okay, Luffy cannot be killed by fighting attributes, or Smoker can only be killed by special attributes, right? So here you actually see a stronger use of the attribute Splash, and you see a stronger use of specific leaders like Zoro in these tags. So you have some very interesting options in play. Being able to attack multiple times is good. Wings of the Captain, which I think was OP06, you're going to be looking at your secret rare green Zoro, which allows you to attack multiple times. And oh my, yeah. In OP12, the Zoro Slash, you're going to see a lot more effects of restanding Dawn and attacking Dawn. And ultimately, your goal is to kill one of your opponent's characters so you can shut down their offensive or defensive capabilities, and then go for a swing at their leader or take out another big hitter. You're not limited to free dock. You get attach 5, go to 10k, K out one of their blockers, and then K out a big hitter they have that's rested, take out one portion of their life. You got a lot of options with Zoro. If you want to set up a more defensive approach so you can focus in on beating Zoro each time, then supernovas might be good for that. Like stuff like Basil Hawkins gets his super strong effect because of Zoro being a supernova. It's green being offensive while still doing what green wants to do, which is maximize the efficiency. So yeah, this was my approach to the 6 liters in OP12. I want to come through and do a little bit of a review on all leaders coming up prior to that, including special booster leaders and OP11 and OP10. One, I get to review these and give me better introspective, and two, it gives me a little sense of these leaders not being forgotten, because there was a point in time where red-green law was a super major threat, and Whitebeard, well, he was banned. So I want to say thank you to all who watched. If you got something you want me to talk about, feel free to let me know in the comments. Shout out to Eggman Event for helping me find out these cards and getting the images that we looked at today. As always, my friends, stay sloppy. Peace.